Une Belle Fleur, a play in one act by Aspen B. Monk. Act 1. Scene 1. Nostradamus' chamber. It is the year 1564, early spring during the French Renaissance. The play opens in Nostradamus' observatory in the dead of night. Candles flicker about the room as he furiously scribbles in a tome, muttering to himself. A large bag sits beside him on the floor, as if he is prepared to make a quick escape. A cloaked figure, Catherine de Medici, enters the room and shuts the door quickly behind her. Were castle eyes laid upon you?
No, I was but a figment of these halls.
Of dear sweet import this must be, to tarry this way under the cloak of darkness.
My dear Nostradamus, cloak of darkness is our usual level of illumination.
That is true, my queen, although our dark elaborations are more illuminating than blind faith may be. Under what machinations or musings do I owe the pleasure of your audience this eve?
Of that I'm unsure.
Unsure? Surely not, my queen, dare I say, king.
I have little of which to be self-assured. The French, they tire of me. They believe I've overreached my station.
A queen mother should not be a shadow ruler, they say. The shadow queen, overstepping all nobles, stepping on top of them even, crushing their ambition for power over the dauphin with her boxy heels, smothering the courtiers' yearnings for power with her farthingales.
How can such nobles justify such an ignoble lady?
How now an unjust portrait of a queen has been painted. Oh, how they speak of her, how they rue the Italian lady, envious of Machiavelli's goddess. She is treacherous as a lion, clever as a fox, ruthless as a bear, and cold as a snake.
There are rumbles and whisperings at court. Some indiscreet circles have named me Circe. You find that amusing?
Incredulous. Amusing. None. Let's see what the cards say. Ah, my dear queen. The cards have dealt you the hand of the hermit.
Hermit? I think not. I'm rarely alone with the scrutinous eyes of the court following me round. Perhaps your fortune-telling isn't quite infallible.
My queen, your Nostradamus is never wrong. Hear me this. Although always openly on display, your true nature must be suppressed and live on only in the interior of the self. Born 500 years from hence, you would be somewhat, only somewhat, more acceptable.
'Tis oft I wonder what will become of my name. Have you any visions of my legacy? Nostradamus, what vexes you so? Why, you're swollen.
That means to my end, my queen.
I will set up a consult with the physician.
Do you not forget, my queen, that I am a renowned physician. Plague cowers in my presence. I'll take my rose pills.
As you wish. Well, what of it all then? What have you seen?
Legacy is a term tailor-made for the kings and lords of our time. They are glorified and edified as paragons of righteousness, strong leaders of valor, vehemently defending the honor of the country and living on in infamy.
And it is not only hyperbolic, but unjust. Those of us devoting our lives to this country, sighing in the shadows, what of our contributions? What of us, Nostradamus, we, the whole lot of us, the others? We will never know the meaning of legacy. History looks upon us with an eye most unkind.
We are the antagonists of history, my queen. We are not entitled to legacy as others may be. You, especially.
I've been ruling France since I stepped foot on its soil. If only it could be. That's it!
Your mind has been moved, my queen.
Art, yes. Art can salvage our dynasty if I can just create something.
It's it. Oh, Catherine. No. Oh, no.
What is it? What is it?
Something wicked. Oh, the grossest and vilest proportions. It destroys many. Oh, Catherine. It is by far the worst bloodshed I've seen. Thousands. Thousands.
When? Where? Please, not my children.
Here. In Paris. It will not harm your children. They are safe. You are safe.
Praise God. What is this event of which you speak? Is it a plague? Is it a war?
A massacre. Oh, Catherine, the bloodshed. Such a loss from which Paris will never recover, let alone your reputation.
My reputation? Surely I am not responsible.
Oh, my queen. Not partly and not entirely, but they will all think it.
Can I stop this gross and vile wickedness that comes this way? What shall I do to prevent it?
It is out of your hands. What will salvage you is how you choose to recover from it. Your notoriety will supersede all propriety. Somehow an aroma of optimism perfumes the air. Here, read my words.
After many turns and steps, the artful serpent lies in the sun, besotted with expiration. Out of all influence, she falls less of all breath upon the highest rock, and from the doubly fertile blood-stained soil below, a beautiful, fluttering flower shall grow.
What say you, my queen?
Are we able to stop this massacre?
Sadly, it does not appear so, my queen. It is far too complex, too many factions involved.
I wish you had not shared this prophecy with me, Nostradamus.
Years from now, you may change your mind. For today, with this knowledge, you can set your mind to the course of healing your country in the wake of great sorrow.
There is a chance, then, for the country to heal from the monstrosities you've alluded to? Can we create something beautiful to help them all?
Indeed, so it seems. It is also a chance to create a legacy for both of us.
Who comes by and by?
That is my driver.
At this ungodly hour? Where are you going?
This is the last earthly encounter we shall ever have, my queen. I'm afraid our tete-a-tete must meet an eternal earthly expiration. I'm leaving the castle.
Forever? Without so much as a proper goodbye? After all we've been through.
I'm sorry, my queen. I thought it best.
You thought nothing. You didn't think at all. You can't leave me. I need you. I'll pay you more. What do you want? How many écus? I'll give you anything. Gold, riches.
My queen, this morning, as I was scrying, the message was given to me. The very end of my life. It draws near. Look for me in years hence, and you will find me in traces of dust and memory.
I command you to stay.
It's time.
Please.
You've been more than kind, my queen. I dare say you have been my most loyal friend. I cannot repay you enough. Keep my prophecy close. It will be a comfort in the impending darkness.
My Nostradamus, I'm not ready.
Nor am I. We never would be anyway. Goodbye, Catherine.
Nostradamus! Nostradamus! How strange. No carriage, no horses. He is gone, like vapor in the wind.
Scene 2. At court. Years later. 1581. It is July 2nd, 1581. Catherine is sitting at the head table at court during a feast with her son, King Henri III, and his wife, Queen Louise. Ribaldry and fellowship are abound. A band plays a song to accompany the dinner. A seasoned, handsome, and nimble Italian man, Baltasarini de Belgioso, breaks out into a solo. He plays the violin with such mastery and splendor, he even includes choreography. Everyone is transfixed by his performance, mesmerized. At the end of the performance, he bows. The court erupts into applause, including the royal table.
Yeah!
Wonderful!
Splendid!
Marvelous.
Splendid!
Oh,
Yes!
so
Oh,
then
Henry, this is just marvelous. Fabulous. Are you filled with wonderment?
If it is enjoyable for my sweet-natured, my dear wife Louise, then I too am filled with wonderment. I'm glad to hear that it pleases you so.
Quite. Oh, come now. What thinkst you, Queen Mother? Do you bear the same level of gaiety as your son?
My little fawn, the Queen Mother is tired. Though I know you're asking out of your infinite kindness, I advise you, my sweet, to ask not of her temperament, as this is a day most morose for her.
Oh, no. What's happened? Perhaps I can offer her some comfort, an ear of sympathetic confidence.
My dear, forget not who she is. She is Queen Catherine de Medici of France. She seeks sympathy from no one.
I understand. What vexes her so?
Today is the doleful anniversary of her dear friend Nostradamus' death. Now 5 years past. And of course, you know, she has not been the same since the wedding of Marguerite and Navarre and the bloodbath of that dark day. A massacre it was, for which she and my dear late brother Charles have been wrongly blamed. And of course, there was always the pervasive and omnipresent grief she holds for the torturous death of my father, King Henry II. God rest his soul. See how she adorns herself in black steel. The black is for so many and all things.
Of course, my dear. Her burdens are many, and the weight of them is thus evident.
King Henri, my son, your aside is quite obvious. I do have the mind to speak for myself. Louise, it is difficult to show gaiety when one has been in mourning for so long, for so many. Give me no pity, my son, for I wear my grief as a stark reminder, so all may never forget your father's glorious reign, the reign that he has passed down so fittingly to you, my Henri. For how could a mother be sad when her son is but a reflection of the greatness of his father, King Henri II?
Yes, mother.
Your Highness, King Henry, someone has requested an audience with you.
Now, during dinner?
He said it is of great import, my liege.
Who says it is of great import?
Sire, he requested discretion.
I care not his request. I command you to tell me who interrupts my supper.
Henry of Guise, your majesty, representing the Catholic League.
Guise?
Your Majesty, go, entertain him with your ear.
Yes, mother, of course. Excuse me, mother, and my dearest love, Marie. I mean, Louise. I'm sorry, my dear. You just look so much like her. I shall return in due time.
Well, what are you all looking at? Back to feasting! Only a Guise is formidable enough to call a king for his supper. Besot yourself not with tears, child, for we cannot have the court thinking you're crying over the Guises. There. If I had made a pastime of counting the times I was mistakenly called Diane by my dear husband, I'd have done nothing else with my existence but sit around in my chamber moping about it. What good is that? It is the way of all kings in their nature. They mean no real harm.
Thank you for that comfort, truly.
Oh, it's not comfort, but truth. Oh, think back on your wedding day. The way the king prodded and fussed over you, my dear, even putting on your makeup and styling your hair himself. Why, if that does not attest to the endurance of his eternal affection, I know not what will. Keep such memories close, and all tears and fretfulness will flit away. Mostly machinations of the imagination, surely. Speaking of marriages, my dear, I fear you've kept something from me.
What? No.
Is it true your sister, Marguerite de Lorraine, is to marry to Henri's dear mignon Anne, Duc de Joyeuse?
Oh, yes. We are quite happy to say she is betrothed to the Duke, Your Highness.
How magnificent.
Oh, thank you, Your Highness.
Yes. Louise, who is the violinist?
Balthazzarini di Belgiosio. He was brought here from Italy by the Duc de Brissac. He is not only a musician, my queen, but an excellent dancer. I've seen him perform many times, and I've met him as well. Each performance seems to supersede the last.
Italian, is he? A man of my own homeland. Would you kindly introduce us?
Of course. Perhaps I can implore Henri to call him forward upon his return.
Oh, no, my dear. Not a formal court introduction. I was hoping for something a bit more discreet.
Oh, well, of course.
Would you invite him to the cabinet after the grand public supper? Not under the pretense of my request, of course, but of your own. Take this parchment and quill and write a request.
But I...
Thank you, Louise. Servant?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Take this request written in the Queen's own hand to the violinist, that fancy one yonder.
Yes, Your Majesty.
You see, he has it, Louise. Oh, he's giving you a smile. He's bowing, accepting that invitation. Give him a smile, Louise. Give him a smile.
Scene 3. Collaboration. The grand salon appears empty and dark. Balthazzarini enters, his footsteps echoing against the silent walls.
Buongiorno, fair Queen Louise. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno, Balthazzarini. Musica moemo. E ballerino non meno?
Ah, you startled me. I was expecting...
Oh, the young, nubile Queen Louise. Yes, I know exactly who and what you were expecting.
Queen Catherine, I would never cuckold your son, the king.
Would have, in a heartbeat. Don't deign my intelligence, Balthazzarini. I know much of human nature. I know the ways of Italian men all too well. I originally hail from Italy, you know. There. No need to wear such a mask of affrightment. Calm yourself. I do enjoy you so much more when you're smiling and gesticulating about with your happy instrument. Entrapment is not why I called you here, but this little session of ours will give cause for your abject and undying loyalty to me. Oh, and this letter. This letter is my proof positive for your loyalty. Should you cross me, your desire for cuckoldry will be revealed. And against the very king himself. Oh, look at the door. See my guard? A loyal witness who will say what I wish to be said of this interlude, should I decide to wish for anything to be said.
If Machiavelli himself were here, he would gaze in wonderment.
Flattery is irksome.
Do not monarchs feed on flattery?
Flattery in the public arena is required. Flattery in private is but superfluous moiety. Refrain from it in confidence. It so annoys me.
Then do accept my faultless unflattery.
Now, to what I want and the terms of our working relationship. You are talented, so very talented. And not only are you talented, but unlike me, you are able to publicly express your artistry. Oh, do you fully comprehend what a freedom and a privilege that is?
My work is my life's blood. I may comprehend it, but even sometimes I do not fully appreciate it.
I need a collaborator, a vehicle for my artistic ideas to flourish. I have tried my hand at writing, dancing, and the like. And although I am very keen on it, art must have reception, or it's worthless. Gathers dust.
Despite how dusty it may be, your people would happily read your poetry, my queen.
No one wants to read the Queen Mother's poetry. It is an expression of myself and not of France.
So your poetry must be political? Then it is not authentic.
Any art that comes through me for the public must be carefully constructed as a reflection of the crown, not my true self. And so I can never publicly put my name to my art, even on the offhand chance it's shared. Do you understand?
I do not pretend I can understand the depth of constraint in your position, but know that I understand your angst. And for you, I do ache deeply. But what can I do?
You have not been at court long, but I am sure you have heard the whispers.
What whispers, my queen?
Oh, truly, Balthazzarini?
I don't know what you're talking about.
No need to protect the courtiers. If I beheaded everyone who spoke ill of me, it would become my official hobby.
I won't say.
Is everything well, Your Majesty?
Oh, guard! Oh, thank heavens you have come. I am trying to sort out this man's intentions. Oh, Queen Louise, is that who you were expecting, monsieur? Oh, and why would you be searching for her in this dark and private salon? Surely you know she is with the King of France at this late hour.
Surely he knows that this is a charge of treason, Your Majesty.
Treason? No. I will tell you. I will tell you. In confidence, I will tell you.
The truth. Truth trumps treason, Balthazzarini.
The truth. Yes.
All of it.
But of course, I will give you every last morsel of what I know.
Oh, my loyal and steadfast guard, you must be commended for your service to God and France. It seems your very presence has cleansed away the sins of our friend, and that his intentions are now as pure as freshly fallen snow.
It is an honor to serve, Your Majesty. I will remain close by.
They all say, every one of them, you are a sorceress, worse than Circe herself, a wanton mastermind of the St. Bartholomew's Day Massacre.
A lot of honesty will go a long way in our dealings, monsieur. What you have heard is fabrication and hysteria. That is not who I am. This is not my legacy.
And where do I, a lowly artist, factor into all of this?
I want to mastermind something beautiful. Perhaps a ballet decor, a nouveau magnificence unlike anything the world has ever seen. I want it to reinstate the Valois legacy. I can't be the one who creates it, though. I need a conduit, an artist who can declare the work as their own. This way, I may express myself freely without fear of repudiation. That's where you come in.
So I would be...
My choreographer, my musician, my artist, my muse, my confidant, my court is your canvas, and you will be rewarded handsomely.
Well, this is an offer a starving artist simply cannot refuse. Well played, my queen, well played. You are as intelligent as they say, and far more intriguing than I was led to believe.
If you are to be my official chief artist, then you must have a very French name. We have to distance our Italian heritage from this throne. From henceforth, you shall be known as Balthazar de Boisjoyeux.
Balthazar de Boisjoyeux, much more acceptable to the French palate. Let our magnificences together exceed that of all others and bring an unprecedented prestige to France. To many long nights and long days of creating your legacy, my queen.
And the show is to be attributed to Louise. Her show under my patronage.
Understood.
Well, we shall plant the seed in the soil, and from our collaboration, may a beautiful flower grow, my dear Boisjoyeux.
Une Belle Fleur, Votre Majesté.
Guard!
Yes, Your Majesty.
See our guest, now to be known to everyone as Monsieur Balthazar de Boisjoyeux, to his chambers. He will be staying at the castle sometime, and we will need to set up accommodations for his lengthy stay. Now, I bid you good night, Balthazar.
Bonne nuit for now, Votre Majesté.
Scene 4. Rehearsal. The scene opens several months later at a private dress rehearsal for the Ballet Comique in the Salle de Bourbon of the Louvre for the latest production, La Ballet Comique de la Reine. Queen Louise is on stage, dressed in a fussy, opulent outfit. King Henri III, treating her as a doll, fluffs her skirts and plays with her hair. Balthazar, looking happily harried, is directing her in a scene with King Henri III. He is teaching them the court dance, without much success. Catherine de Medici is in the shadows, watching and ever observant. Elsewhere, a male figure, hidden among the folds of the curtains, stalks about the shadows. Catherine and the players do not notice him.
And un, two, trois.
Well, I must say.
Un, two,
Oh, my love, my beauty of all beauties.
Eh.
Are you on?
I'm unharmed, my king, and quite well and better still in your arms.
Oh, my dear sweet. How was it that time, Balthazar?
In improvement, Your Majesty.
These steps and movements prove more difficult than our regular court dances.
It's mathematics, my dear.
Oh, your majesty.
Mother!
It's true. I designed the choreography using the principles of geometry in the celestial movements of our cosmos as an invocation to assist our royal family's quest for peace.
Each movement is intricately placed to mimic the journey of the heavens across the sky.
The very principles of our great creator himself reflected in our movement.
Well, perhaps you too can show us what it looks like.
Oh, no.
What a lovely idea. We can become what we see.
Louise, what a novel idea. Well, yes, we'll take note of your mastery and use it in our own training.
Your Majesty.
Balthazar.
Un, dos, trois, quatre. Un, dos, trois, quatre.
These may be very well the happiest I've ever seen your mother. It's almost as if she's no longer wearing black.
My dear mother, she has never truly known love nor passion in any sense. She always lived for my father, even enduring his immeasurable love for Dion. Even in death, she is true to him.
She looks very young there with him now. She lives for your deceased father still, as I live for you, my king.
What could you mean, Louise?
It must be Medici in your blood in your veins. She still loves your father the way you still harbor love for your dear Marie. I know she was to be your first choice, your Dion. I can't possibly measure up to her memory, but I do try, my lord. Forgive me, your majesty, I've overstepped.
Oh, Louise, no. I love Marie with an unquestionable and grand love that I cannot deny. It is true, I love you differently, my dear, but no less than she. You are mine now, and there shall never be another.
Thank you.
Let us leave then, and now to our chamber for more quiet conversation.
Where did they go?
Does it matter?
Perhaps not, but I was watching for some time. They need quite a bit of practice.
There is plenty of time. I'm sure they're practicing even now.
The plot and theme, Balthazar. We must discuss.
Are you sure that's the only reason you're here?
Now, after the Huguenots and Catholic nobles are reduced to beasts and civil war by the magic of Circe, we are going to have Louise and her ladies dance, invoking the 4 cardinal virtues to tame man's innate emotions and establish order and harmony through reason and moral virtue. And then Jupiter descends on the back of a golden eagle to destroy Circe to give her powers to our royal family. Ooh, we should have sound as well. A thunderclap, perhaps. Can we replicate that sound so that it is quite realistic?
Oh, yes, we can, Your Majesty. Our Jupiter will be accompanied by the most excellent music ever sung or heard.
I want this all to look real and magnificent. People must laugh, cry, and stare, their mouths agape, to see the heavens bless our King Henri with wisdom, solidifying his position and divine right to rule, delivering his subjects, Huguenot and Catholic alike, from the strife of civil war. Is this possible?
I marvel at your imagination and cleverness. My queen, anything you wish is possible. I will do whatever it takes within my employment to make it so. Now, my offer.
Do you dare forget you speak to the Queen Mother?
Queen Mother, once queen, dare I say, always king? You dote on your son as Queen Mother. Your black garb symbolizes your perpetual state as queen. And as for king, well, we all know who truly rules France. You live as all 3.
An acute observation, but we cannot agree.
Your titles are as changing as the seasons, but your heart is that of a woman in need of true love, my lady. For you to have wasted your youth pining for the heart of your husband, and to look at you wearing black still, a woman like you should pine for nothing.
Dear Balthazar, what did I tell you of my position on flattery? All art lives in brevity, and thus expires when the artists take their bow.
Art does not expire when the curtains close, Your Majesty. There is something eternal.
We will meet here tomorrow at this hour. We have much more to discuss concerning our show. Good day, Balthazar.
Adieu, Queen of my heart.
Bless these dusty curtains, aligning the true people of God in league with the despicable rabble who call themselves Huguenots. Oh, peril and disgrace of French honor. How dare she bear to acquaint us with such ignoble, despicable creatures in her ballet? This injury I shall not overlook. The league looks to me for hope and temperance. I shall boldly lead them through these dark, uncertain times. Catherine, I, your once most humble, most obedient, and most obliged servant, shall savagely return the sufferings you've told. Never far from memory is your endurance of my heart, mercilessly banishing me from court in the arms of my great love, your daughter, Margot. Not only did you separate us by body, but you damned her very soul by marrying my jewel to the Huguenot king. My turbulent and fiducious heart is thickened by the mere notion of that disgraceful, unnatural union. I could have been your son, but you chose Navarre, a Protestant, took a cold and usurped my divine right. Wishing rather to die than to see the loss of so favorable a conjecture, I sought bloodshed. Those many thousands of Huguenot souls barely sufficed for the debts you owe me, the injuries I've sustained. In Navarre, the head I sought most to sit prettily atop a pole, where that very wretch escaped the massacre unscathed. And so this time, on another such happy occasion, I shall again enact my revenge and see it played out to the end. Oh, I shall play my part well. And then for the throne, only a person of my birth and consideration shall be entertained. Oh, this Ballet Comique shall be a theater of honor, the theater of Guisean imagination. Guisean has a certain ring to it, doesn't it? In the climax, we must not forget the most exciting and vigorous part, Navarre's demise. Practice until your toes bleed, Catherine, but my vengeful art shall far supersede your petty little ballet. Even St. Bartholomew's Day itself will bear in comparison to the wrath I shall unleash at the premiere. I shall hide in this very spot, unflinching, unmoving, until I can find a moment with the Italian lady and force her to adopt my plan. What an extraordinary service I am to France, to the Catholic League, to God himself. Délicieux!
Scene 5. A doubtful turn. The next morning, Catherine, humming and hopeful for love, waits for Balthazar in La Salle des Bourbons.
Where is my Balthazar? Is that you, love?
Au contraire, it is not your love, but your hate who stands now before you.
I will not have you disturbing my rehearsal, Guise.
Ah, but you do not mind my being at our little rehearsal for Queen Marguerite's nuptials, now 10 years past, now did you? Where was our rehearsal conducted? Ah, yes, Tuileries, in that very good garden.
You will not speak of such ill and slanderous things.
And now allow me to look upon our new garden. Ah, the Salon de Bourbon. No lush foliage, but no matter of that. Just as fitting of a stage for birthing the machinations of a massacre, if I do say so myself. The drama, the mystique, those gold curtains. Blood shall stain them nicely.
Why do you darken my salon, Guise?
You and I were of one body politic on that redemptive day in 1573, weren't we? All of us colluding in Tuileries. I, the lion staunch, robust, and prepared to fight. You, the fox, too clever for your own good, quick and efficient behind the scenes. And then our late King Charles, your son, this shivering, barely thriving lamb, a mere figurehead. The Guise family and the royal family together, the same direction, the same desire, the same agreed upon conclusion.
You will not speak of such things.
No, no, the public would not agree with that sentiment. To them, you may as well have killed Coligny by your own hand. Why, you're immortalized on that day too. The Black Queen. Have you seen the Dubois painting circulating about?
A painting? What of?
Have you not seen it? Well, I do have a copy of the pamphlet. Oh, by God, I do. You see? In it, your likeness is captured as you emerge from the Chateau de Louvre. There, that's you. Unmistakable in your signature black. Oh, look there now at your smug visage, carrying the utmost of satisfaction upon your countenance, as you gleefully inspect a heap of, yes, those are dead people, not plague victims, but Huguenot bodies bloodied and battered on your castle stoop. Bodies ruthlessly slaughtered at your command. You, the Black Queen, sometimes forgetting yourself and acting as king. Painted standing tall, a pillar, and a sober reminder of the royal family's disobedience to their Huguenot god. Immortalized in the moment you abdicated the worldly powers of the Valois.
This painting is a lie. You falsely blame me for your sins.
The Huguenots have slandered your justice, Queen Mother. Factions now even question the very validity of the existence of the Galician monarchy itself. Why you are not completely on our side, the side of the one true God, is such a mystère.
Navarre and Condé converted.
A false and blasphemous conversion from two devils. How can you tolerate them when you are so intolerant of your very own religion? Tell me, why have you spared them?
It is not I who makes decisions, Guise, for I am not the king. King Charles is now deceased. God rest his soul. It was his decision to make, not mine. And now my second son, King Henri, of his father's own namesake, is on the throne. It is he who rules France.
Henri, the once Duc d'Anjou? Your sons are weak. It is you, the black-eyed Italian, who rules our France. It is you who meddles beyond your station. I'll never forget the beauty of that day. Now that should be the plot of your magnificence. Coligny's finger blowing off. Boom! The wails and shrieks of all the dying Huguenots covered up by the tolling of wedding bells. Celebrate, no?
Insufferable, vile, and crass insubordination.
Oh, but this wedding, this one, Lorraine and Anne, why it is much more acceptable and natural. The joining of two great Catholic houses. And I have a proposal for you. Would you like to thrice remove yourself from Navarre's impending demise? The less you partake in it, the more you would be blamed for it, you know. History has a way of repeating itself.
You speak in angry riddles, which sound of much but have little substance. Say what you mean, Guise.
For Navarre, a mercenary awaits.
I shall not allow it.
And that is your downfall.
I will immediately give counsel to Henri. He shall not allow it.
You are not the king. You are but a gross Italian past her prime. Your consent matters not. I shall scandalize you as the mistress of Balthazar. The hypocrisy of you wearing black, while you do it as such a direct slight on your dead husband, King Henri II. You are no widow in mourning. You are but a common harlot.
Guise!
And I will fuel the lie that it was you who ordered the murder of Coligny and the Huguenot nobles on St. Bartholomew's Day. If we did not do as you said, surely you would have slaughtered the Catholics as well.
Enough!
It is never enough. My Margot, my once beautiful and pristine Margot, you have corrupted her indefinitely. Even if she seeks annulment from that villain Navarre, I cannot accept such stained and abused Protestant property, not even as a mistress. And so you have ruined me, in every conceivable way. I shall ruin you. Unless you accuse and approve my plot, without Henri's knowledge, of course. Strict confidence is most desirable.
You wish to kill Navarre?
More than anything.
And what do I gain?
Legacy.
Legacy. What of legacy?
I can help you create yours. The most powerful woman in Europe. Her sons, the most powerful kings the world has known or will know. Should you accuse, I will ensure that none shall blame you for the St. Bartholomew's Day massacre again. History will look on you as no more than a beautiful patroness of the arts. What say you?
It sounds like a dream, but how will you make such impossibilities come to pass?
Entertainment for this performance you seek will be provided. Compliments of the Catholic League. I am displeased at the very notion of this ballet and the plot of this magnificence. Such a disgrace to the Regency. It is far too conciliatory towards the Huguenots. And so we will find a moment within the ballet itself to disgrace the Huguenot ideology. It will save your show. You let this happen in your court, your palace, and in your ballet. After it is done, the Catholic League will choose an appropriate successor to inherit God's throne.
How do you plan to do it?
I can't tell you when or how, but know it will be done. Artistically. Go on, Balthazar. Yes, I've heard you humming and hiding in the shadows. Come out here and reveal yourself.
Me?
Another swarthy Italian deigns our court. Now, my man, set the stage for a Catholic victory. A surprise ending to the grand production is in store for all of you. You know not where, when, or how the hour of my arrival shall be brought forth. But I assure you now I do, that is imminent. I'm off!
The massacre, why, you've done it all, as they say. You're in league with them. How could you?
No, Balthazar, I
Touch me not. I reviled the very notion of it.
Of course. How silly was I to think a simpleton choreographer could develop even a rudimentary sense of politics. You have not the faculties to intelligibly converse with a royal on anything of politics or religion, let alone understand my pretense. I see I must do this alone. I see.
Yes, you see all you desire, for I will none of it.
Of course not, but I know who will.
Who? Oh, your majesties.
Balthazar, why did my mother leave so quickly?
Did you two quarrel?
I know not. Nothing of the sort. Shall we begin rehearsal?
Scene 6. The Observatory de Nostradamus. Catherine is alone that night in Nostradamus' old observatory chamber. Everything appears untouched from the scene many years ago, aside from cobwebs and a level of disrepair from neglect and the hurried departure of Nostradamus. Catherine paces around the room in frustration and begins sifting through its contents. She pulls out several candles and lights them gingerly. She pulls out a bowl ceremoniously. She slowly, skillfully pours water from a pitcher into the bowl. She squeezes droplets of black ink into the bowl, one by one, until the water turns completely black. She picks up a book, leafs through the pages, and lets her fingertips glide across the surface of the page. She clutches the book to her heart.
Nostradamus, with this chalk and my memory, I will draw some symbols just as you used to when you conjured. Why is this not working? The room used to rumble when you drew your symbols. The very air would quake in your power. What Wait, what is it you once said? On the night we parted, my dear Nostradamus, I remember each last word you spoke to me. You said, "Look for me in years hence, and you will find me in traces of dust and memory." You will find me in traces of dust. Yes, that's it. Traces of dust. Tracing through the ashes of what was. My fingers and hands will find you. Where's your nutmeg? No matter. Nostradam, I conjure thee. I conjure thee. I conjure thee. Why am I not a seer? Curse me with your gift. Why can't my eyes find you here where you said you'd always be? You leaving turned a queen into a beggar. This regal brain simply hasn't the ability to shake the memory of you. Dust on the bricks, the cobwebs, and dust thou art, and from dust, and from dust, and from dust. That's what you said. It's not working. Where is the nutmeg? Took it all and left but none for me? That night you stole out of my life like a common thief from this palace. Oh, thou art so wicked for leaving me this way. I need your intercession now. You promised we'd finish this together. But where are you? Damn you! Oh, nutmeg or not, as I gaze into this bowl, your queen commands you. Appear to me. Manifest. Come home. Nostradamus?
Katharina, why are you talking to a bowl of water?
Balthazar, oh, you mustn't be here. Take leave with haste at once.
It's so dusty. I can't quite see you, but I'm here to apologize. You couldn't have had a hand in that massacre, and I...
No need. Now go.
Love, there, through the dust, I see...
Direct order from your queen, not a plea from your lover.
The form of my muse you must be. Why, Katharina, you've been crying tears of black. How unnatural! And what is this place? All these devices, these instruments, this dusty tome, scrying, spells, necromancy. Oh, no.
I haven't an earthly answer for you.
I've lain with a demon.
Oh, Baltazarini, no.
See this cross? Stay back, demon lady. I came to apologize, and you are what they say and more. A nightmare. Help! I said stay back.
Baltazarini, you must allow me to explain.
Explain? No need. I will none of this. Now let me pass, dark one.
If you do not wish to listen, then why did you follow me here, you insolent fool? You are incapable of understanding anything.
You sorceress. My heart. Are you possessing me? Oh, my heart. Oh!
Balthazar. No, wake up. Wake up.
Catherine, he will be fine.
Nostradamus? Flesh and bone?
The appearance of it, for a short time. Your intention was strong, my queen. You've conjured more than just a vision.
Balthazar, can you help him?
His current state is my doing.
And he...
Will prosper, yes. Unscathed. You love him.
I do not know.
Now, that's not my queen I remember. My queen knew her mind. And her heart?
My philandering is not worth the crown. He will ruin the Valois line with accusations of witchcraft and sorcery. No, I don't love him if I don't have to. How must we silence him?
No need. He won't breathe a word. He actually loves you.
He does not.
In his own way.
Precisely.
And himself, of course. He loves himself quite a bit. He knows if he tattles, he will look complicit at your sorcery. His ballet, his greatest artistic achievement, will be forever mobbed. The stakes are too high. His own artist's ego will silence him quite nicely.
No need for our intervention, then?
None.
You're quite sure?
Catherine, you changed.
Why? Because I question you?
No, because you question yourself.
A massacre performed under your nose will do that. Have I really changed so much?
Yes, but the massacre was out of your hands, my flower.
Debatable. You've remained the same. So much has changed here. I've been forced to change with it all.
Yet the core of the conflict remains painfully similar, does it not? The French walls of religion in perpetual inertia. And here in front of me, I see France's flower struggling to grow out of the blood-stained soil.
Your intercession is greatly needed.
Guise. Guise has returned with another plot.
I needn't explain anything to you. You always know. And now what of it all? How now must I endeavor to quench the hateful fires of that Machiavellian dragon?
Shall I pen you a quarto?
Quarto? Your quarto haunted me. It did not prevent the massacre. Why should I need one now? Must we go through formalities? Are you not now more omnipotent as a spirit, ghost, whatever you may now be? Can we speak plainly since I have now usurped your role as intermediary? Remember, it was I who conjured you, no nutmeg needed.
Very well, my queen. This time, I shall give you my eyes and ears. Look into the bowl, and you shall know what I know is pressing, great matter. What do you see?
I see the salon de perform. Why, it's the ballet. A shadowy figure, like a puppeteer controls the ballet.
A chalice I have prepared of hemlock and murdoch root, mixed innocuously with the finest fruit of French vineyards. During the lengthy production, the ladies in waiting will be directed to give succor to the nobles. Yes, some hours into the production, looking on gaily from his coveted seat, Navarre's taste buds shall prickle and seek refreshment.
Who has the chalice? Can you tell?
The dust and the fog swirl around it, I can't see.
A deadly drink, ended off by an unwitting participant from the Sylphie dance.
The dancer. I cannot see her face.
Chalice sparkles red.
Shall dispense itself into that blasphemous and unholy mouth of Navarre, and that poison, like a serrated dagger, shall thread his polluted insides to nothingness. That happy, righteous poison shall course triumphantly through his veins until his breath poisons the air no more. The death shall be expedient, giving him no time to repent or state a second false conversion. His eternal damnation shall be sealed as he is sent straight from the French court into the behemoth mouth of hell!
Demons. I'm surrounded by demons. Oh God, help me. I must go. Oh!
Balthazar, wait!
Let him go for now. See? He's out of his league. And just a poor little artiste. Of no concern to you, my queen. If you love him, I can influence it.
We have more important matters. The Guises hold too much support at court. I shall have to thwart Guise covertly. This will be a bit of a challenge, but nothing too insurmountable. The Sylphide dance. He thinks himself so clever. Well, I can outfox him. What do you think?
You needn't hear any more of my thoughts, and I shan't give you any more counsel. You are most victorious when you are confident. The tear-streaked lamb I see in front of me now shall lie in wait, and when the time calls, she shall bare her fangs like a lion and shred the plot of Guise to pieces on the castle floor. Now that sounds like my queen, of whom all these years I've had the pleasure to know and love.
Love. You're the only one who has said that to me who means it, who I believe.
And now I must leave you again.
Just like that.
I am not as schooled in the way of the world as I once was. You are earthbound, my queen. Only you can enact the thwarting of this earthly machination.
Nostradamus, if I told you that I too felt as you did all those years ago, would you stay? Come to me still? Advise me? We could make up for things lost and unsaid and undone. Please do not leave me here alone.
Catherine, a love realized too late is not love. Don't fool yourself or lower yourself with fancy. You were in love with your husband, the king, not me. I was your mere seer.
I was a fool then, but I am none now. Although I loved my husband, you.
Catherine, you must know. Love is not the eternally binding force that humans believe it is.
Of course it is. It is the fabric that holds us all together. Is that not why you're here?
It is not.
Have you not seen them in the afterlife? Your wife and daughter? Are you still searching for them?
It is difficult to explain. We are not reunited in the way mortals believe.
It is not the bliss we've been promised.
Henri will not be waiting for you at the set of pearly gates.
I will not see my husband. I will not see my son Charles.
You may, in some way. You may not. It will certainly not be the reunion they write about in their great book.
But you are here.
When you no longer are, you become what is needed. No more, no less.
But you came to me. There is a tether. There is something.
My queen, I am here because...
Of love.
Because I am but dust and memory.
There's more to it. You and I are one and the same, aren't we?
We are... Oh, Catherine. We are, but I can't. Not now.
Even in death, you still don't know the truth of the universe.
No. Catherine, as sharp as you are, you haven't the capacity to understand until you yourself expire. My queen, allow yourself to feel human emotions. Forgive Balthazar and enjoy the earthly years you have left. For never again in eternity will you exist as you do now.
The one thing I want to feel always leaves me before I can. I know Nostradamus, come.
Catherine, do not tempt me, please. I must depart from this plane.
Haunt me?
Be it some comfort. Whatever I am, I shall always miss you.
Be it some comfort, then, that I shall always seem to lose you.
Scene 7. In the wings. The next scene is in the wings of the Salon des Bourbons, the day of the production. A large crowd is seated at the salon, waiting for the debut of the ballet. Queen Louise practices her dance steps nervously.
Un, deux, trois.
Louise,
Oh, Queen Mother, you startled me.
where is Henri?
The stage right wing, Your Majesty. We are to meet at center stage.
I thought you were to enter together center stage.
Balthazar changed it at the final rehearsal.
No matter, as long as Henri is out of harm's way. It is best he does not hear of this plot. Where is Balthazar?
Plot? What plot? Balthazar was here a moment ago, but he said he was going to go check on some costuming snafu.
Then it's you. Quickly, come closer.
Me? Whatever for, Queen Mother.
Hush! Have you seen or heard Guise?
I have not. Queen Mother, you look vexed, and you are short of breath. May I venture to ask what is going on?
Simply enough, Guise plans to assassinate Navarre during the ballet.
What? How?
During the Sylphide dance.
Oh, call the guard then and have him stopped at once.
I already have. Open the curtain.
Yes.
Although gagged and bound to that chair, he will not call off the plot. There's not time enough for torture, and with our position, we don't want any physical evidence of torturing a Guise. The retaliation from the Catholic League would be most brutal. Quick, drop the curtain, Louise.
We must tell Henri at once.
No, we must not. His involvement will only complicate matters further. It is you and I who need to act quickly.
Surely not I, my queen. I'm not.
Louise, you are the sweetest, dearest creature on earth, but you are also a queen. It is time to act like one. Your choice of actions from this moment forward will protect not only our kingdom, but most importantly, your husband and king, Henri III.
I harbor much fear, my queen.
Perfectly natural, especially for your first time. Now, listen closely. There will be a golden chalice encrusted with rubies. Keep a keen eye out for it. One of the dancers has been instructed to take the cup filled with poison to Navarre after the dance of the sylphs. It is likely going to be one of your ladies in waiting who knows not what she is doing and has been instructed by Guise that it is a favorable and generous gesture to the king. You will intercept this cup and bring it to me. You must improvise so the Catholic League knows not that you are purposefully doing this. If so, they will assassinate him on the spot, and then you, Henri, and myself may indeed be targeted as well. Vain stupidity and submission shall survive. Do you understand?
How do you know all this? I can't.
Look me in the eyes. Breathe in, breathe out, in and out.
Stage fright?
Balthazar, where is the cup?
The cup? Whatever do you mean?
The golden chalice encrusted with rubies. Where is it?
Why?
I must know immediately.
I will not be complicit in your Machiavellian machination.
Oh, your head for your insolence! Where is that cup? You pushed her out onto the stage. Oh, you fool!
Curse me if you will, for that is your way. But an assassination will not occur during my ballet. I have changed everything to prevent it.
Oh, I am here to prevent it, fool, you jester of the court. You have disobeyed your queen, and in so doing, it is you, not I, who helped Guise along presently. Look behind the curtain. My guard has gagged and bound him to a chair. Oh, no! He was here but a moment ago. Oh.
It cannot be. You were the foul mastermind of Saint Bartholomew's day. Why, you are trying to prevent it. Is that what you were doing in that evil chamber? Oh, Katharina.
From the mouths of men, believe not all words that drop from them. Do not believe in what you think you see until it is explained. Words to live by, Balthazar. Oh, look! On stage, there it is!
It is near Circe. The chalice is near Circe.
It does not appear that Louise spies it quite yet.
She searches in vain.
Oh, she sees it!
Why, yes, she is improvising. Oh, she grabbed the chalice. It is in her hands. Here she comes! Here she comes!
Oh, take it! Take it, most vile and horrid thing!
I don't want it.
Louise, did you see Guise?
I spied him rushing out the doorway. Henri!
Your beauty has lifted every word from my tongue. Ah, is that drink brought here to quench my thirst? My mouth is as dry as the desert and...
No!
No!
Shall we make our entrance, dear?
It is beautiful, no? The production, I mean.
Watch so you don't drop that chalice. Guard. Guard, take this chalice from Balthazar. There is poison in it. Dispense of it immediately, safely, and above all, with the utmost discretion.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Thank you. My loyal guard, have you seen Guise?
He was seen rushing from the castle, Your Majesty. Shall we follow and detain him?
No, that is unnecessary. That will be all. Thank you.
I apologize, Katharina. I was harried in drawing conclusions without fully understanding.
Do not use my given name when you speak to me.
Are we strangers again?
Again? Why, we have never been more than that.
Katharina, love me or hate me, worry not. I will never tell what I saw that night. Can I ever again have your love?
Enjoy your production, Baltasarini de Belgosio.
It is our production, and always will be. But I see that I am your Balthazar no more. No amount of convincing will change that. There's your thunderclap. Look at your audience, Catherine. They are moved.
Well, it sounded quite real.
A success. Will you stay with me just long enough to watch the king escape Circe and restore peace to his land?
No.